everyone, my name is Mehek. I hope you guys are doing fine, you're safe, and like always I also hope that you guys are reading. We are back with another interesting book to share my reviews and thoughts and what I think about this one, and hopefully maybe if you find it interesting, inspire you to pick this book and read. Now the book that I finished reading is Rumi's 4 Essential Practices. It's by Will Johnson. That's how it looks. It's a paperback. Now I'm sure all of you know who Rumi is. He's one of my most favorite poet. But for those who don't know, Jalaluddin Rumi was someone who was a great mystic Sufi person. He was a great poet from the 13th century, and he's also someone who kind of founded the whirling dervish dance form. So you see these Sufi people wearing these long robes and going around in circles. So that was something that Rumi had founded. Now although Rumi was born in a orthodox Islamic family, but he was someone who went beyond the prescribed form of prayers for a more compelling union with divine. So he didn't believe in the religious norms, and he wanted to always go beyond that and discover a more genuine union with the God. And based on this, there is a short poem wherein Rumi is sharing his experience about why he decided to go beyond the four walls and beyond the religious scriptures. So it says, "I used to go to the mosque to throw myself on the prayer rug and cover myself in devotion. But one day, love entered the mosque and spoke to me. 'O wise one, why do you stay stuck inside the house of worship? What you need to do is break free from the bondage of self.'" So that's when he decided to break free and move beyond these prescribed norms. Now coming to the book, in this book, so Rumi says that all the religious and the meditation practices that we know is something that is related to the mind. But in this book, he has listed 4 practices that are related to your body. Now he says that if you want to bring about a change psychologically, you need to do some changes physiologically, changes that are related to your body. I'm going to share what are the 4 practices with you eventually, but these 4 practices basically allows you to change your body, which in turn affects your mind as well, and at the same time it allows you to let go of the self. So when I say the self, it means the ego or the pride that resides in us. So all these activities are practices are aimed to let go of the self and again have a more meaningful relationship with the divine or the universal force we believe in. Now coming to the practices, the first practice that Rumi says is very important is eating lightly. Now Rumi says that food gives us pleasure, but it also gives us problems. So he says that although you should enjoy your food and you should indulge in occasional feast and pleasure, but you must also indulge in every now and then in fasting and controlled portions. So fasting as a concept is there in all the religious practices and spiritual faiths. All of us have fasted at some point, and now to come to think of it, the entire world is doing this intermittent fasting. So I'm sure all of us know that fasting has a lot of spiritual, mental and health benefits. So Rumi says that it is important that you indulge in regular fasting. So he says that when you fast, the sensation in your body, they start humming, your mind becomes slower, it becomes quieter. That's when you start to have meaningful conversations, and you kind of connect with the sensations in your body. Like for example, the day we eat light, we feel so, I would say, free and active and energetic. And the day we indulge, for example, weekend, like especially for me, I can say Sunday meals, usually the lunch, I have a tendency to indulge and I feel so lazy and lethargic after it and I want my nap. So that is the first practice that Rumi, literally stresses us on, that it's important that you eat lightly to kind of, quieten your mind and let the sensations in your body start humming. There is also a Zulus saying that a body that is constantly stuffed, and always stuffed, does not see the secret things. So the first practice is eat lightly. The second practice is breathe deeply. Now Rumi says that when we are a child, you must have seen when a child, he sleeps, when he breathes, these are deep, he indulges in deep breathing, wherein you can see the movement in the entire body. But once we grow and we become an adult, because of the tension that sinks in, we just forget how to breathe deeply. I mean, to consider, oxygen is the most important food that our body needs, but how many of us really indulge in deep breathing? Like I would just like to give you an example here. When I 2 years back, when I went to Vietnam, I indulged in scuba diving, and I felt, after I was done with the whole thing, I came up and I just felt one thing, that wow, I was actually for the first time in my life aware about every breath in my body, because scuba diving, if you've done, you know that you're supposed to take deep breaths, and when you're under the water, your focus is all on breathing, because you want to stay calm and composed, and it's important that you breathe properly. And that's what I felt, that at that moment, it's I realized how important oxygen and breathing is, and that whole activity was so calming and like a therapy. And that's what Rumi says, that when you indulge in deep breathing, it kind of makes your mind still, and when your mind is still, it becomes quiet, and that's when the energy of the soul starts playing. So all of us need to indulge in deep breathing, to make our mind still, to make our mind quiet, so that our soul, the energy of our soul starts playing. So there are a lot of breathing techniques, but Rumi has kind of proposed 2 breathing techniques, that is holding your breath and deep belly breathing. So you just take a deep breath, you hold for a while, and you let go. So deep breathing is the second practice. The third practice that he says is move freely. So which is basically you come out of your silent cocoon and just let go of yourself, let go of yourself through dance. Now we all know that Rumi was someone who considered dance as a form of physical prayer, and that's why he used to have these ceremonies, song and music ceremonies, wherein he used to call people and they used to dance for many hours. It was called Sima then, which is now called the whirling dervish dance form. So yeah, he felt dancing is the best physical form of prayer, and that's what he urges everyone, is to just let their hair down, turn up the music, and just let go. It's not important that you know the steps, just play the music and let your body move, let it move freely. He says just like the branches of the trees move when there is wind, just like that you need to let go and move freely. And so yeah, this is what he says. There's a beautiful poem on this that I would quickly like to read. It says, you start out imitating, end up terrified, and then find hope. Start dancing with the hope. In time, you will break free from this world of illusion. So yeah, that was a beautiful poem that I found on the art of letting go and dancing. The last principle that he shares is gazing rapidly. So now all these other practices is something that you can do it alone, but for this practice you require a partner, a lover, or a special friend in your life. Now Rumi, as we all know, is famous for his poems related to love and lovers, and he felt that to love someone is one of the biggest form of prayers or worship, and it is the art of letting going of yourself and feeling this ecstasy. And this particular practice, the practice of gazing rapidly, is basically surrendering to the lover's gaze. So he says that when you have that special someone in your life, you should just look deeply into their eyes, do that, have that gaze, and just let go of yourself. The longer the gaze is, the deeply you will heal. I mean, all of us know that eye contacts are so special, and we all say that the eyes are window to someone's soul, etc. So he says that find that someone special in your life and look into their eyes and look into their soul through their eyes, and just let go. And then whatever emotions and energies come after that, just embrace all of that. So yeah, the fourth practice is about finding that ecstasy in your lover's gaze. There's one more poem that I would like to read with regards to this. It says that my heart got caught in his drunken eyes, and now I'm drunk and I'm out of my mind. When you turn your face away, the water in the canal stops flowing. How can particles appear if the sun doesn't shine on them? So here he's kind of indicating that his gaze kind of makes me feel so high, and how when he turns away, the water in the canal stops flowing. So it's a beautiful poem on the lover's gaze. There's also a beautiful poem on the practice of breathing that apparently I missed mentioning earlier. So it says that as you breathe in, breathe into the felt awareness of your entire body. As you breathe out, feel your whole body exhaling. As you breathe in, let yourself feel every single cell in your body. As you breathe out, let yourself dissolve and merge into the outer world. Feel your gratitude for being alive, for having life given to you so freely each and every moment in the air you breathe. Gratitude towards the world is the natural feeling state of someone in love. So basically he's saying when you breathe in, feeling all that gratitude that you're alive and you have this beautiful life, and when you breathe out, just let all the negativity go, which a lot of spiritual leaders tell us, that breathe in all the good things and breathe out all the negativity in your life. So yeah, these are the 4 practices that Rumi has discussed in this book that kind of awakens your soul. For me, it was a very easy and wonderful read. I really enjoyed it. I mean, there are quite helpful tips and beautiful poems. The poems are really easy and beautiful, and the tips also I found helpful, to kind of create a balance in your life. So if you're looking for a quick read with quick insight into these practices, this book is perfect for you. But if you're really looking for a deep, detailed insight into each of these practices, then this book might not be the correct one for you, as it's quite in brief. The author has mentioned these practices in brief words and has more emphasized through the poems. So yeah, that's all on, but all in all, I feel it's a wonderful book, and you all should give it a try. Yeah, that's all on this book. I'm going to see you guys next week with another book. Till then, take care, bye bye, and stay safe.